Yeah.
Good morning, you beautiful human beings. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good whatever it may be when you're tuning in, whether live or to the replay of the Brunch Gimmick. I'm Spencer Love. I always have been, but I'm still Spencer Love. Lawrence, it's good to see you this morning after what has been a very slow week in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
So we're going to sit and talk about Money Plane.
That's literally what we discussed out in the pre-show. Literally nothing to talk about. So we're going to expand into the potential Money Plane universe, into what exactly you bet on. I guess we are not past 10 minutes, so I can't say what exactly you're going to do to that alligator.
The only good thing Kelsey Grammer ever did.
Yeah.
Man, it is good to see you. It is good to see all of you in the chat already. Zach, good morning. Noob, good to see you. Thanks again, as always, for the shout-outs there on the Twitter machine. And thanks for hopping in this morning. And JPJ Spencer working on a show weekend. You know it's a big deal.
Yeah.
As you can tell, my voice is a little rough, so good for all of you. I'm not going to be talking as much, but, it'd help us out a lot, and I will make sure to mention, is throw us a like, throw us a share, throw us a tweet of support, an X of support. I don't know what we're calling them nowadays, but help us out a little bit. It would mean a lot because we're here to chat some LPW. We're here to chat about Survivor Series, a little bit of the Continental Classic. And then, as per usual, after a show weekend, we're going to tune in to some LPW times CWS number 9. JPJ, is there room for this guy to join the CM Punk banter? You betcha. We've got you hooked up with the link to the StreamYard in the old Slack chat there. So hop on, homie. But because there was no 4 exposure this week, and as people are starting to make their way into the chat room, Lawrence, what do we want to make for a like goal this week? Go for 10? Do you want to go for 10? We went for 15 last week, but also so did the Beards, and I don't want to keep going for the same number. So let's start off with a 10.
Yeah.
Start her off with 10. If we hit 10, we'll double down to 20.
10.
And if we double down to 20, I'll put a match out from LPW CWS number 9 publicly. In fact, I'll put out a blindfold match. But that's our goal for today.
Yeah.
So, let's chat some Love Pro Wrestling. Of course, LPW 22 or 21, taking place last Friday in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I really enjoyed it. I can't give much of an opinion, but the only things that I do want to make sure that we shout out from that show are, number 1, very excited to be welcoming Billy Starks to Edmonton, Alberta next year on January 26th. She'll be taking part in our first event of the year, LPW 22. I don't know about you. I'll pull up the branding here in a couple of minutes, but Zach absolutely nailed this one out of the park again. Yeah. So if you want to come see Billy Stark's debut in YEG, head to Tixr, TIXR.com/Love Wrestling. Pick up your tickets. We're already about 90% sold on VIP. Floor tickets are moving quickly as well, too. So make sure you do so for that. And while you're doing so, we'll bring it up when JPJ hops back on as well, because he's going to be here for that show. But on January 21st, our next upcoming event, we're collaborating with the Edmonton Oil Kings. We are going to be at Rogers Place in Edmonton. I'm very excited for that one. We're the first independent promotion to run an event at Rogers Place. We're hoping to get 10,000 people in there. Of course, that's part of not just a wrestling event, but a great afternoon with the Edmonton Oil Kings taking on the Saskatoon Blades. Very excited on that end of things. So maybe you guys come up here, Lawrence. Maybe you spend a week in Edmonton. You stay at my place, the Casa du Spencer, the Love Shack, so to speak. Come and watch 2 events in 1 week.
I'm saying there's a good chance. I looked at freight prices this past
There's all
week.
the Cyber Monday sales coming up tomorrow. Black Friday weekend, as it's come to be. There's a blast.
Yeah.
So there's the couple of pieces for you. The last piece, if you guys are Love Pro Wrestling Patreons, you already know this. Our year-end awards are now open exclusively to Patreons. Those will be going live. If not later today, then tomorrow morning. I'm going for dinner with the family, so I kind of want to get there early, and that might be the expense of tweeting the survey out.
Yeah.
Sue me. Let's talk Survivor Series, because nothing happened last night, so we can rip through this one real quick. Ophelia, thank you for already voting. Pretty wild evening, to say the damn least. I'm very, very happy I ended up driving. And shout out to Tara Zepp making her LPW debut this weekend. Drove her to the airport last night at about 8 p.m. So I did end up missing out on Rhea versus Zoe Starks. I heard it was great. But unfortunately I have to go back and play some catch up on that. However, what the hell? Just what the hell, Lawrence?
I know, right? I did not think R-Truth was a Truffles guy. I had him a straight lays man this entire time, but you never know in the world of professional wrestling.
Shout out to Triple H as well, too, making that. I laughed so hard last night when he came out and he made that. He's like, let's talk about the big return, R-Truth. Because I popped so hard when he came up as part of that backstage segment. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Love me some R-Truth. Some Ron Killings.
We got to
run.
You
know what? If we're speaking of R-Truth, we can speak of some JPJ. Good to see you, handsome. You're right on time.
Look at that.
Hello.
Isn't it cool that you're going to be here for our next show? I don't know if you were
Next
setting up
two
to hear
shows.
it. Yeah, but like next 3 shows technically.
Yeah, I'm coming in.
CWS number 9.
That's true,
For
yeah.
10.
So I'm flying in the day before the Oil Rumble. I'll be watching that. I'll watch the CWS. I'll watch LPW. And then I think the next night, that Saturday, is the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
It is. I just checked the other.
January 27th is the Rumble. So I'll be there to watch the Rumble, hopefully with some good people. And then
Twist our arms into a good time,
I
hey?
fly out on Sunday. So it's going to be quite an eventful week. I'll be there.
I'll just say it now. Yeah, I'm coming too.
There we
Almost
go.
there.
Exclusive breaking
Yeah.
news here from Love Pro Wrestling, the Brunch Gimmick.
I also have I just checked. I have a stupid amount of bank vacation days. So
good.
Yeah.
Good. So first round's on you is what you're telling us.
Sure.
Yeah.
There we go. If you'd like to buy me a beer.
Spencer Lee, this is always a trick to get him to buy him a beer.
There's always a way to find my way into a beverage. But
Yeah.
let's talk about her. I mean, there's no sense in delaying on her. CM Punk is back in the WWE. That is a sentence that I don't think anybody truly expected. The only person, and shout out to him, that I think fully expected Punk to be back last night, TJ Cannon. He was adamant. So I'll give him the shout out there.
There you go.
I drove him to
There
the
you go.
airport and he was certain. Other than that, no.
Drew, my firmly AEW co-host, during the week he messaged me on the Twitter and he was like, I think Punk's showing up this weekend. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, something about WWE being so hush-hush makes me think that they're swerving.
Something's
us a little
happening.
bit. Yeah. I was not expecting. Hey,
Hi,
Blair.
Hey guys.
Another surprise guest.
I mean, look I think in today's world of wrestling, I feel like last night all of us were legitimately surprised that he actually did show up. And I think that is very rare in today's world with social media and just all the outlets you can find shit out and reports and all these things. To be genuinely shocked at the end of that show, which I thought was a banger of a show anyway.
Oh man,
it was good.
That would have been a great one, even if it didn't happen.
Correct. It was incredible.
Welcome, Blair.
Hi.
Hello,
Hey guys.
Blair.
Hey.
How are you doing on this? Well, I guess it's Sunday afternoon for you now.
It's going good. I mean, I've watched all of 3 minutes of wrestling the past couple days, and it was just the CM Punk returns. So,
I was going to say, so have you heard the news?
yes, Dante Martin returned last night. Right? No.
Yeah, and R-Truth.
Oh man,
And R-Truth.
I thought Hunter answering that first press con when he mentioned the big return R-Truth. I was like, I love this guy. Look at this guy cracking jokes.
Oh, what a blast! But yeah, I truly don't think. And Blair, I'll turn to you, man. I don't think anybody, actually expected this. I really don't. Even with Sean Ross Sapp there, and you could literally watch him live tweeting where he's like, "My opinion has changed. They have just cleared out the backstage area." Unbelievable.
I think there's one person who expected it, and it was some random guy on Twitter who was so choked up, commenting about how they've teased Punk for so long and he's not going to come. And I'm like, man, there was no teases at all that he was going to be there. It's just everybody getting themselves hyped up, but he was he was so adamant about it. He's the only one who thought it. I'm like, props to that guy, because he must be on cloud 9 right now, and I'm happy for him. Why not? Dude was stoked about Punk possibly being there. He got it. When you look at the grand scheme of wrestling, we all have our interest in that, but this is pretty cool to see that it actually has happened again. So
it's insane. It's insane. CM Punk, and I'm not even going to worry about the drama that is inevitably going to happen. But that guy has 2 of the arguably 2 greatest returns of all time at this point.
Yeah. And I think Hunter at the press conference, he said, whether you love him or you hate him, people talk about him. They've always talked about him. They've never stopped talking about him. And if our fans want it to happen, even some of them, we're going to do it, because guess what? He is always talked about. People are always clamoring and wanting to know about CM Punk. So
I think
he moves the needle, I think is the phrase.
Yeah.
legitimately
Is
just
that what
on
they say?
just on Twitter, his return hit 17 million views as of like this morning.
Yeah,
Like
the only stat I saw for it was like it was 15 minutes after, and it was 1.3 million views in 15 minutes.
Yeah, like so. Like the first thing I'm gonna say is like somehow it went down exactly how I thought. If like I remember when their tab breakdown said WWE had no interest. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, it would be so smart of them to keep it to the belt, have a secret conversation with them, and sign them the day of. I'm like, that's the only way this is gonna happen. If it happens, like even though I thought that and it literally happened, I was like shook to my core that it actually freaking happened. Like I legitimately like was looking like no effing way. I walked out of the room. I'm like, this is not happening right now. I walked out of my room. I'm like, this is not happening. And
the impact is going to be massive.
Yeah, like if you're wondering, like his impact in like pro wrestling and outside, I swear to you, like 2 of my coworkers who are not wrestling fans, were like completely caught up on the CM Punk drama in AEW. Like they knew all about it. Like they bring it up with me, and like his cultural impact is huge. Like he's legitimate. There's a reason why he's driving the numbers. Like it was clearly the biggest press conference that's ever been watched live. Like shout out to LJ who killed it last night too. Yeah. Who got some questions to shut up. But like his impact is massive. There's no denying that he's going to be a ratings draw for WWE going into WrestleMania. Like at the perfect time for them.
You can always tell when something's big. I'm sure you guys have had the same experience when like your non-wrestling friends are texting you shit.
Yep.
Like, look at this. And my younger brother, like he hasn't kept up with wrestling consistently in years. And he's texting me, is CM Punk back? Like, this is going to be massive. I would be really curious as to what's going through Tony Khan's head today. I really would be, you know. I don't know if this is just you can't do anything but speculate. So take everything with this asterisk, obviously. But like you can't help but speculate. Like you've got to think Mercedes Monet's bag just went up. Like the amount that she's going to be able to command just went up from Tony Khan because like he needs something like that. It's for me the same sort of thing as when Cody left. Like you lost someone that was, again, whether you loved him or hated him, pretty foundational to like AEW leveling up. Like JPJ, you and I sat there and watched his return together. Like that was another moment where I think all 3 of us, shout out to Joel Pearl as well, like it was sort of like, oh hell, AEW just leveled up.
Yeah.
And when everything was firing on all cylinders, like they were leveled right up.
They were. And if anything, I hope that this is something that like maybe makes AEW go back to kind of not the way they were, because I still love the AEW product as it is currently constituted. Yep. But AEW, they've been flirting with the sports entertaining stuff a little bit more this last, and that's fine. I like WWE. I like sports entertainment, but I feel like when AEW first came on, they were different. They were the wrestling fans' wrestling show. And then they've been doing a little bit of both. And again, I've enjoyed it. I think they've been doing well, but I think maybe this might be like, okay, let's try to get back to our core and like what we are now. And like, we got to go pedal to the metal and just give it to the fans that love us because we were that alternative instead of trying maybe a little bit to be the alternative, if that makes sense. And I mean, it's got to hurt if you're Tony Khan. It has to, right? You have to see that and go, come on, man. But I think it could be a wake-up call maybe where a good thing comes from.
Yeah, I think it's really embracing the fact that they are the alternative, and that's what you almost lean into for now. You know, like, they were definitely pushing into that sports entertainment aspect a lot more than, say a few years ago. And that's fine, why not try it out? But like for the next foreseeable future, if I'm Tony, I'm going into what made us that alternative, great matches, like flashy wrestlers, all that sort of stuff. Like go out there and show why people should be watching your product.
Oh dear. I was picking a scab on my tattoo. That was just a bad idea. It was just a bad idea.
Yeah, and I think listen, bottom line is the more wrestling, the better, right? AEW is going to be around. They should be around. They're great for what they are. Right now, I know us wrestling fans like to yell at each other about who's better and all this stuff. We got two high quality companies doing some killer thing. Randy Orton and CM Punk came back last night.
Yeah.
Guys. Those are like two of the top 4 performers in the last 2 decades. Like, come on, like WWE just went, okay, it's WrestleMania season, guys. Strap in.
Here's the coolest part for me.
You know what I mean?
WWE is the hottest it's ever been,
and it's good. Yeah, it's been good.
And they just added 2 guys. Like, and I don't mean this as a shot by any means, but like, they didn't need those 2 guys to come back for their product to be successful and for this to be a, like, knock on wood, all-time great build to Mania. But you just added 2 guys. Like, for me, it's not apples and oranges, don't get me wrong, but this feels a lot like when they did the Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan debut in AEW.
100%.
Like, this is like, look at what we can do.
Yeah.
It's literally just like a dick swinging contest, for lack of a better way to put it. Look at what we can do. And now you add those guys to the lineup, like, theoretically, because we all saw the footage last night, and whether it was a work or not, like, there was a lot of money to be made in CM Punk and Seth Rollins for that World's Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, and that's what it should be.
There is now another guy that conceivably, for me, could win the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I would have put my money on Cody, like, today, tomorrow, 2 months from now, the day of the Rumble. Like, I was certain he was winning. But I think there may be other ways for him to get to Roman where CM Punk wins a Rumble now. And that's getting way ahead of it. But
it's wild.
It's I hate to be like cheesy with it, but like it's really shifted the landscape for WWE.
Yeah.
Oh, 1,000%. You have go ahead. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I was gonna say, like it's crazy that you like this one person has made 2 comebacks that have felt like legitimate miracles each time. Like both times, you're like shaken to your core that he has shown up at that place. Like there is something so special about the moment. Like love him or hate him, like so few people can actually do that. Can like actually put themselves in a position like that.
It's always an oh shit.
Yeah, it's like what the hell is going on? I wouldn't have put like any money on this actually happening, and he did it twice.
Yep. If you guys are in here, by the way, feel free to feel encouraged. We would love it if you'd throw us a like or a share or anything like that. We've got a like goal of 10 today. Help bump us up the algorithm. It'll help us a ton. I would really appreciate it. And like I said, if we can hit that goal today while we're live, I should say, we'll put out our blindfold match between Zoe Sager and T.Y. Jackson. Normally a Patreon exclusive, but if you're going to show us some love, we'll do the same for you. The other thing, and damn them for it, Triple H got me again with the lower third. He got me again with her. Got me again.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we were safe. I thought we were out.
Dude. I feel like, man, Hunter's... when you saw Hunter come out at the beginning of the press conference, when he sat down...
I thought at the end of the press conference.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Oh, no, that was Cody Rhodes.
Yes. Yeah. I only saw Hunter, but when he came out, he had his glasses on, he sat down, and he just had like a look on his face, where he was just like, yeah, it's go time. Like we're gonna destroy here.
That look was a look like he knew he just had an awesome R-Truth joke lined up.
Yeah.
He was walking out to the stage. He's like, I'm gonna slay him with this one, you guys.
Maybe.
I'm gonna absolutely slay him with this one. And you know what? Papa H was right.
And I think the thing that is crazy, and is say if CM Punk did not show up last night, we would be on here talking about how damn good of a pay-per-view that was last night.
Yeah.
Because it was excellent. Every match was good. It was paced right. It felt like an NXT takeover in the black and gold era, but a main roster pay-per-view. It had all the, you know what I mean? That's what it felt like to me. It was 5 matches, just banger, 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 banger. And it was good. The stories were good. It was just a kick-ass pay-per-view. And then you just throw, the biggest return of the year so far on top of it to end it. And it was just like, dude, like... And now we have time. There's not another PLE until the Royal Rumble. We have 7 weeks, 8 weeks to build these stories with these returns and then it's WrestleMania season, and that's always the most important season for WWE and the best season, even when the product wasn't as hot as it is now. So now it's like, what the hell are they going to do these next 3 months? Like, it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. I'm excited about WWE for the first time in a while. Like, I'm really excited. Like, oh, damn, I'm ready. I'm ready to see this road to Mania right now.
See, I'd even like again. I've really enjoyed it over the last year. Really, you know, there's obviously there's the ups and downs, but like you just added 2 silver bullets to like an already fully loaded gun. Like it's pretty unbelievable heading in because like now you try and fill in. Okay, now you've got to find spots for a guy like Randy Orton and CM Punk on what was already going to be an insane WrestleMania. You know, just speculating, but like a Rhea and a Becky, Cody and Roman 2. You know, the 2 Usos facing off for the first time. Solo Sikoa probably getting a major match.
Yep,
it's gonna be very, very cool to try and see how you fit all of these guys in because. Frankly, again, know the guy's polarizing, but anybody who wants to make money or anybody who wants to main event WrestleMania, like a Seth Rollins, like that's your best option. Rollins Punk would be unbelievable, but there's so many guys. Kevin Owens and CM Punk would be unbelievable.
And there's so many people now, like
Cody and Punk. We never got to do it over there. Let's do it here.
Exactly.
Like.
There's so many things that can happen, and we're not even like just the now that Mania is 2 nights. You add these 2 people in. You think about the cards for those 2 nights, even if they're 7 or 8 matches each. Like now, there are so many. There you go. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. There's just so many matches, and like, what if CM Punk's
block a chatter on screen?
You know, what if CM Punk now isn't the last big return they have? You could speculate all this stuff. Now that CM Punk has returned, anybody can return. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. There's just a lot of reasons to be excited about what could happen.
One of the people I was watching with last night was like half jokingly adamant that like Mercedes Moné was going to return.
I didn't want to speculate. I didn't want to speculate too much, but if you're her,
why not?
If you're her,
you didn't leave in Philadelphia. Yeah, why not?
You didn't leave because of Triple H. You left because of other things. Now Triple H is in charge. You were at arguably your best in NXT with Triple H guiding that ship. You know, you can already see the improvement of how women are on the screen in front of us. On the main roster, even in NXT with Shawn, like Triple H cares about women's wrestling. He values women's wrestling. In my opinion, the best match on the night last night was the Women's War Games match. I thought that match destroyed.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I got to be honest with you too. Like, and I was going to ask my one, like, because I didn't see Rhea and Zoe. Did Rhea
That was
win?
good too. Rhea, yeah, she did. Did you think she wasn't? Did you think she wasn't gonna win? That was actually it was a good match.
Like,
though. They kind of beat the crap out of each other a little bit. It was good.
It felt like the men's War Game match was really short after Randy entered.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it was another just 3-minute interval and it was done.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
maybe Drew had somewhere to be. Like maybe they had to cut it short. He had something going on. That's why he sort of stormed out of the building.
He stormed off angry. Obviously, the video of Seth going crazy is everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. It's wild. Can we show some respect for The Miz, too, by the way?
Yes.
That match ruled.
Yeah.
Him and Gunther. But yeah, that's all.
I'd be happy to do that. I was happy to show my respect to The Miz.
I was utterly thrilled with that pay-per-view last night.
Gunther's never going to lose that title.
I don't know. Who beats him?
I'm going to say it right now, R-Truth.
CM Punk.
R-Truth beats it. R-Truth faces him and beats him. Give him that man that title.
Right now.
Here's a name I'm going to throw out there.
Randy?
Rhea Ripley.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's after Mania, though, right? Because it's going to be Rhea and Becky, obviously.
Rhea Ripley.
Maybe. That'd be something. I'm just trying to think now, like, who's the one that is going to dethrone Gunther for that title? Because in my opinion, whenever Cody Rhodes gets whatever championship he's getting, Gunther needs to be like a long-term year, like one of those we're always going to face each other type opponents for Cody.
Yeah.
For the belt. That's my opinion. Gunther's a legend. He's unbelievable.
Oh, he's unbelievably good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gunther's already a Hall of Famer.
He did that.
Come on, man.
Yeah. He was in the middle of that match when he was beating The Miz up a little bit. He looked at the crowd and he kind of gave that like face, and the crowd was like, they're booing him out of respect.
Yeah.
That's respect boos that he gets, right? So
Respect boos, a
He
smattering of respectful boos.
exactly. People are like, we're gonna boo you, but like because we know you're just so good and your character's a shithead, so we're gonna boo you.
We know you would enjoy and appreciate us booing you,
Correct.
sir, and therefore we will boo you.
I just think about the matches he and Cody will have for the world title, and I'm like, the crowd is going to be just adding fever pitch about everything that those two guys can do together. So it should happen at some point. Whenever they decide to pull the trigger and give Cody the win they should have gave him 7 months ago.
I don't know. I really don't know who could do it. Lawrence, thoughts?
Yeah.
Could it be Dragunov?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker, if you wanted to introduce a new person, maybe something like that. But I think Dragunov would be a great choice.
No.
Or Mello.
I'd rather have Scott Steiner than Braun Breaker.
Yeah. Or like Mello and
Scott
Trick.
Steiner.
Oh yeah, you could do Carmel. Like you could introduce somebody to do it. I thought the Miz was actually could have been a good choice to do it with his history with the IC title, but it could still be Gable. I know he went after him a few times already, but Gable would be good still.
I thought it was going to be Gable, just the way they built that up. But I'm going to throw one name out there to beat Gunther. Dragon Lee.
Oh, okay. I liked his match he had with Santos last
yeah.
night too. That was a good one.
Because whoever beats Gunther, they're going to be elevated to another level. And I mean, with what Dragon Lee's already been able to show that he can do on the main roster, having a victory like that with that title, I mean, like you're propelling him to another level. And they want to try to have another like sort of ace in the hole when it comes to lucha libre wrestlers and Mexican wrestlers. So like that would be a huge stepping stone for him.
Yeah, I agree on sentiment. Maybe I'm just like, it's my personal bias. I'm not there yet with Dragon Lee.
Then he's
done a lot of cool stuff. He's done a lot of really great stuff in his short run so far. Don't get me wrong, but like not quite there yet.
Yeah.
And if the guy, and this ain't a shot at anyone, but if the guy can't beat Santos Escobar, why would he beat Gunther?
Yeah, I don't.
There's lots of runway left. Don't get me wrong, but like. By the way, isn't Santos Escobar just rad? Oh my god,
great! It's great.
So cool.
Yeah, we didn't even mention them, but like him and Ray are going to be if Ray's healthy enough. I don't know if he will be, but him and Santos is going to have a spot on Mania this year for sure. They're presenting him in a way that he will have a good mid-card match on one of the 2 nights.
I would hope so.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things that can go on here, and it's very intriguing when you think about it.
Let us know, friends, if you're in the chat, how you felt about Survivor Series. Who's going to beat Gunther? Why I was the only one who again didn't get the traditional hat memo today.
How would you feel if Gunther did a Samoa Joe and said, "I've done everything"?
Relinquishing it, dumb. I hate it every.
Yeah,
time.
I don't like it either. But I did see some people saying that because
some people are wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
They're on separate shows. Could it be LA? Could it be LA Knight?
Maybe
LA Knight go after Gunther.
On like a popularity, yeah, but like for me, oh my god,
I would have
I
personally
hate the idea so much of this whole like I've done everything I can with.
Yes, I hate it.
Well,
too.
then do something else. This is wrestling, man. We had an undead mortician as a champion 3 times. Like he figured it out. Come on.
Like to me, the Intercontinental title has always been that one where it's going to elevate someone to that next level. So like. To me, like someone like LA Knight, he's already there. He doesn't need that Intercontinental title run. So it's got to be someone who, like, you're going to be Gunther there on that, like, level. You're not the main event level, but, like, you're pretty damn close. So that's what I need for whoever's going to beat Gunther.
Yeah. Could they run back
Oh,
Sheamus?
I'm going to make somebody mad.
Could they run back Sheamus and do that? And have Sheamus go over?
No. What if they did, like, a Grayson Waller?
I don't think he's there. I don't think he's there yet. I like Grayson Waller.
Greasy, smarmy heel stuff.
And you'd have Gunther be like the baby face in it almost.
Oh, you could turn Gunther babyface tomorrow.
Oh, 100%.
All he has to do,
100%.
all he has to do is like chop Baron Corbin instead of people we like, and you're good to go.
Or
I like Baron Corbin, by the way, but
you go full Undertaker from like '94 Survivor Series with the American flag and his cloak. You have that like
absolutely
in his jacket and American.
All he has to do is be an America lover, and we'll turn babyface immediately.
I think
That's all he has to do.
When we're talking
love
about LA
America.
Knight, I think a perfect feud for him to have into Mania would be him versus Logan Paul for the U.S. title. And I think that would be perfect for LA Knight because Logan Paul is extremely hated. He's the champion now. LA Knight,
But
is
he loves
clearly
America.
over. Yes, but you could make LA Knight chase the U.S. title and Logan Paul, and the crowd would still be 1,000% behind LA Knight. I think that would be a really good feud for him to go into Mania with if they wanted to do it.
Fair enough. And of course, LA, named after the city of Los Angeles, famously also loves America, I would have to assume.
Maybe.
I don't know why that's been my tangent. We're going to move on.
Maybe.
But if Gunther loved America, you could turn him babyface tomorrow.
I still get a kick out of that picture. Like it showed up on my timeline just because of the American Thanksgiving, and I'm just like, who came up with this idea?
Vince McMahon.
Like, with an American flag in his clothes. Like, come on.
It was like the only time the Undertaker wore anything other than like black and purple.
Yeah.
Like an American flag as well.
What a time. What a time.
Yeah, you could turn Gunther babyface tomorrow. Drew McIntyre, let's talk about that one real quickly. Work or shoot is a fun game to play. We should make a Zach, take notes. We should make a graphic for that and play this as like a little segment every brunch gimmick.
Yeah.
Work or shoot, and have like a nice little, I don't know. Either way, what happened there? Is he sticking around? Is he going? Is he actually mad? Lawrence, I ask you first.
I'm gonna. Damn it! Literally both of these.
You didn't want me to ask you first, did you?
No, because like I'm literally in between on both Seth and him. Like we literally at this point we don't even know anymore in this like CM Punk world back in WWE. Up is down, cats are dogs. What do we do anymore?
I don't know anything.
I'm gonna say probably a work. I think Seth is more of a work. I think he like saw it and he knew he needed to react because like he'd been like the most outspoken everyone in WWE pretty much had the same line of like, it's good for business. We're happy to have him here. Like almost everyone. He's the most outspoken.
You cancer.
Yeah, I don't want that.
A very different, a very non-tepid response.
Yeah. So like, and if he did like great job on Seth's part, like he sold the hell out of that. Like especially knowing that the cameras. He knows the cameras are off, but he knows the cameras are on everyone else is always on him.
Oh yeah.
So,
until you're backstage, the cameras are on you in that sort of pay-per-view premium live event environment.
With just that, sold a WrestleMania main event. Like Drew, there's a much better chance that this is real and he's legitimately angry about something, or angry that maybe the match that they just had was stepped on by the CM Punk thing. But even he left before that, he you don't know what's going on because he is still in a contract year. So I'm leaning towards it's a shoot. Not thinking about it, but there's a good chance they're building up to something too with him.
Blair.
I'm going to say that the Drew is shoot. And there was something that just irked him, whether it's the match or whatever, but that the Seth is full on work. He knows where his bread's buttered. He's going to get a main event, not push, but you're going to get to main event the Rumble or WrestleMania just because of this. He knows what's Steph for business. He's going for it. It's a work.
Yeah.
JPJ.
Yeah, I'm kind of with the group. I feel like the Seth one is definitely a work or more towards a work. But Drew, I think, is probably more real. I could see him getting pissed off. Oh, great, there's another guy in my way. There's another guy now I need to leap over, or I need to, he's already not signed a contract because he's kind of, or at least what we know is that it's a contract year. He hasn't re-signed yet, and they want him to re-sign, but he hasn't. I assume that's probably because he's not 100% thrilled with what he's doing now. He probably views himself as a world championship contender, as he should. And now there's another guy that is probably, he thinks, or I'm trying to think if I were him, I'd be like, great, there's somebody that just showed up who's above me now. Another person. Mm-hmm. What the F? God damn it. and he probably was pissed, or he could have not liked the match. I mean, there's a ton of things, but that's how I would have thought. I would have been like, great, another guy I got to friggin' climb over now. Pissed me off. And I would have left.
I pray that both of them are really mad. And not for any like personal harm.
Well, I
really don't hope for that. But like,
I think there's some
I hope they're
realness
both
to the Seth
furious
stuff
right now.
I think there is some realness to the Seth stuff. He clearly doesn't like CM Punk as a person for whatever reason. I just think, like Blair said, Seth knows. Seth's a pro. He knows. Hey, I don't like this guy, but I can make a lot of money with this guy. I'm gonna
like he worked with Riddle. He doesn't like Riddle. Like he was quite public about also not liking Riddle.
Oh, speaking of today's maroon of the day.
Yeah.
Riddle just putting his foot in his mouth once again.
Yeah.
With that whole, well, if you think I was a problem. No, we do. We still, there can be two problems. Jay-Z has 99 of them. What about us normal folk who don't have billions of dollars in Beyonce?
Yeah.
WWE can have two problems.
Oh,
Riddle can also be a problem.
Yeah.
What a maroon. What an absolute maroon. We are sitting at 9 likes right now, friends. We'd appreciate one more. We'd appreciate a lot more. If we can get past that, that'd be awesome. But if we can hit 10 likes by the end of our live broadcast today, we'll be putting out a match later today featuring T.Y. Jackson and Zoe Sager in a blindfold match. The first ever blindfold match in Love Pro Wrestling history. But before we do that, exclusively on this here watch along, on this here brunch gimmick, on this here Love Wrestling CA. That's the wrong button, Spencer, you idiot. This is what they call dead air.
Hey, don't talk about my friend like that. Okay.
Dead air is a hell of a guy.
I meant my friend Spencer. He's not an idiot.
We are going to watch along. That's a nice little, we'll go with that. We're going to watch along with our most recent edition of LPW CWS number 9. This was our opening contest, scheduled for one fall, between Marz the Specialist against Jared Rogers. Now, Marz the Specialist accompanied by Jack Pride and Thaddeus Archer III, as per usual. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the overlay to take it off of faces. Oh, look at that. Zach Ralph, best in the biz. Thanks, Stud. So, this was from Thursday night. The full event is now available on our Patreon. You can tune in. You can watch an hour and a half of live pro wrestling from Love Pro Wrestling. But, like I mentioned, you're going to get a couple of these on watch-alongs. You're going to get Zoe Sager versus T.Y. Jackson publicly, hopefully, because we've got a bunch of likes on, well, this here video. But, let's get going with the dulcet tones of the Canadian Goose. Where's the volume?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is your opening match of the evening.
There it is. Potential 2023 referee of the year. Referee Stuart Garvey. We like that Marz guy. Good morning. I don't know if this is Marz, in which case why, and if this is Thickness, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Thickness.
And if they've got a social media manager, please pass on my regards.
On the Love Pro Wrestling Patreon, my name is Big Bad Boris. I'm joined by Dash in the Park from Heavy Hockey, and Dash. Oh, I almost made it. Close this time.
Big Bad Boris is very, very good about not talking over people's intros. However, as this is a watch along, I'm fine to talk over people's intros. Can do whatever the hell I want.
We are starting off prelude number 9. Hot Marz the Specialist going to take on Jared Rogers, and we are 24 hours away from our last LPW event
Also,
of the year. And
shout out
Dash,
to you and the whole
tensions are
crew,
high amongst
and
them.
for like a
We've
successful
enjoying
year at
right beside in the
LPW.
middle of us. There's some-
Hey, thanks, Stud.
Massive year,
appreciate
and
that.
going into
Oh,
an even bigger year starting next
You
year.
want to say
Like
something?
starting off the rip in 2024.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to say we're like our next show is at Rogers
mind
Place,
Yeah.
You could use a little bit of supervision, Boris.
which
Fair enough. Jared,
as a
Jared
non-rec room
Rogers
event
making his way
is
to the
only going to be
squared
available
circle.
through the Love Wrestling Patreon. So head to patreon.com/Love Wrestling CA. Support us there. You're going to get a lot of great matches that are previously recorded from our CWS events, from our shows with the Sherwood Park Crusaders. Like I said, we've got a few major events coming up next year. that I think are going to be worth your dollar. The best $5 in the biz is Fightful.com for all your exclusive news. The second best $5 in the biz is subscribing to the Love Wrestling Patreon. It's Marz because I don't have a channel with the proper name.
Yeah.
I appreciate your honesty, Marz. I appreciate the honesty.
The amount of money they made, Fightful made last night. Like, SRS is putting another edition onto his house from all the like Fightful Select news subscriptions.
Hey, huge shout out to him, man. They
Yeah,
do just great work.
Well deserved.
And that's why all of the stuff we talked about with Punk is publicly available. You want some great insider information? FightfulSelect.com. Hi, Red. My dog's just like staring at me mid-yawn is the best way that I can put it. Reed is also at a birthday brunch, his own brunch.
Damn, I want to go to a birthday brunch. I want to go to a brunch.
Thank you for joining us on our brunch gimmick. I also would love a birthday brunch. After this,
Yeah,
Rip's already gone for his little WALK today, so he's going to go in his CRATE.
Can get him somewhere.
I was going to go grab a bite to eat, but I might go grab like a brunch. I might find a brunch
Yeah, that's what I'm
location.
saying.
I'm gonna go get a Slurpee after this.
Get a nice mimosa.
Is it warm enough for a Slurpee for you?
It's always warm enough for a Slurpee for me.
I knew I liked you, Blair, for a lot of reasons, but you just keep adding to that list.
I think I might walk to KFC because they have like this new exclusive to Canada only, this Thanksgiving chicken sandwich.
Son of a bee. Still?
This guy.
Yeah, like they just released it. I think they released it for American Thanksgiving, but it's a Canadian exclusive.
I don't want any part of that.
I want every part of it.
Yeah, dude, a Thanksgiving like sandwich with
Yeah, it's like cranberry sauce and like stuffing.
stuffing. Yeah.
Cranberry sauce, overrated.
Right.
Overrated,
Yeah.
heavily overrated.
It's fine. It does its job.
Never tried it, so
You're not missing out. It's like eating a cantaloupe. Honeydew's the money melon.
I don't like cantaloupe at all.
Nah, I can't. I literally
Not a fan.
can't do.
Cantaloupe's only good. Cantaloupe's only good when it's like wrapped in prosciutto, like as an Italian appetizer. Oh, you haven't? Oh,
I'm Italian.
Oh.
We do the prosciutto and the cheeses.
see, I usually do with like a little bit of goat cheese, and then you wrap the
Love some
around the
goat
cantaloupe. That's a little. That's a solid little.
Sure did.
Is there somewhere that serves eggs Benedict and that on the same place? Because
Eggs
if you do that and you're tuned into this show right now, you have just found a customer in about an hour.
Bro, I will eat an eggs Benny any day of the week.
It's an anytime food. It really
Yeah,
is.
I do the Irish Benny a lot with the corned beef
Benny,
hash
you're trying.
on there.
Yes,
It
that
is,
very nicely done. Yes, yes.
ugh,
Did you
boy.
invite him here?
See, we've got
I had
Canadian
nothing to do
bacon.
with him being
Yeah.
here, but
Back
I'm
bacon.
not
So
upset
so
he's
Canadian
here.
bacon is
He may
the
have come
for
and
us
just
down
bring me
here in
piles
the
of
States.
cash.
That's the original. So if you're just getting eggs Benedict, it comes with the Canadian bacon.
Hold up.
And then us being Americans, we've created 19 other kinds that you can have as well.
Well, yeah.
Blocking that big
You get the
bullseye.
crab cake Benedict,
Hip block, but
delicious.
again, landing on his feet.
You can probably get one that's like on a pancake.
Yep, I've had a grilled cheese one before, where there was a
grilled
grilled
cheese
cheese
Benedict.
sandwich, and then the eggs and the hollandaise and the stuff on the top.
I could go for a solid grilled cheese right now.
Ah.
Oh,
Dragon again.
oh.
Thought about it.
Again, grilled cheese and anytime food. It just is.
Absolutely.
Handful of hair.
Thanks for joining us for brunch this morning.
Yeah.
Literally.
We might as
we
well
watch
talk
along.
about brunch food on
That's
the brunch
exactly
while
it.
we watch wrestling, right? That's what.
Except I'm really hungry now. I'm a hungry boy.
we got 12 minutes. We got
Jared
12
Goodman,
minutes,
sir.
and then we
Thank
can
you for
eat
clarifying
off
that.
stream.
If you guys have a chance to watch this on the YouTube channel or on our Patreon, Marz yelled something really rude at Jared's mom right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Jared Rogers
Really funny, though.
section, enjoying what they're seeing up close and
And the
personal.
biggest reason I'm saying that is he's in the chat and you know what you said.
Keeping Marz back inside the ring under that bottom rope. Jack Pride up. He's got those keys.
They're shiny.
The shiny keys.
Thank you for
He's just like
specifying.
Jared probably needs to warm up his car.
Are the rumors true? Is this episode culminating in an LPW feast or fired four-way match? If you were talking about the four hosts here, I do not like my chances.
You always
So
shut
no.
down on Devin and their
I do not like Lawrence.
guy
You're
tries to do
fired.
something nice. So he can warm up his car.
Three of us are going to feast, and Lawrence, unfortunately,
Match, Boris.
due to budgetary restraints,
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Oh,
your
good.
boy,
Here's what
but I'm
Marz-
your man now. That's
Wow.
Oh,
Speed game of the specialist.
Wow.
Game of the
Coming in
specialist.
hot.
Doesn't matter what type of match this guy is
That
in.
is a valued season
That's
ticket
why they
holder.
call him the specialist.
Marz the
Dispatch to
specialist.
the floor, and again, Jack Pride getting involved. Dropping Rogers' skull
The
first.
heck, Jack?
Referee dealing.
Also, shout out to
Rogers inside the ring.
somebody who actually friends with Abigail, who's the one who donated $200 to
Yeah,
the
he's
Story
just-
Oh my
Foundation.
God! I completely forgot to ask you about
Walking by to
that.
his
Yes,
car.
so
It's
like
I was gonna bring that. Actually, I've got it in my show notes here off the bat. So,
Yeah.
huge shout out to Michael Allen, Richard Clark on
catching up.
Friday night, and I believe it made it to the stream. There was a few individuals in the, so I believe their names. I only met them that night. So Abigail, Danny, and Mary Jane. They came with a sign that said, "If you do 80 push-ups, we'll donate $200 to the Stollery Children's Hospital." Michael Allen, Richard Clark, and shout out to a couple of the kids that came out. Corey's Child, Minnie Cena, and then I can't recognize who the third one was without having it in front of me. But huge shout out between the four of them, 80 push-ups, $200, and now $400 because we said we would, of course, match the great work that they ended up doing. So $400 to the Stollery Children's Hospital on Friday night. Michael Allen, Richard Clark is for the children. I completely agree. But yeah, she brought up while we were outside that she knew you, and just what a small world. We've said so many times that the wrestling community is the best part of pro wrestling. Just get more and more evidence of that every day, brother.
And
Yep.
the new grand champion making
Wow.
his first title defense tomorrow night.
Absolutely. He'll be in tough.
Marz just over there picking on Jared's mother.
Yep, you got it. You got it.
Every millisecond of that.
His name may be Rogers, but this is Marz neighborhood. Feel free to steal that. Just make sure you credit us and attach our socials to it.
And we got the Wiley veteran here, and we're getting the other Wiley veteran, Billy Starks, in January.
That we are, and I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I am. I'm thrilled. That's really going to help us kick off with like three really great events there at the start of 2024.
Yeah.
Rogers Place, and we can already, well, you know what?
Make a lot of people nervous when I say
And I was just going to say, Zach, you sent that comment in at a perfect time, because I was going to say we can already, after Friday night, confirm one match, your main event matchup for LPW EOK, the Oil Rumble.
Hell yeah.
At the top of the line.
But if you tuned in, if you were there live, if you sort of pay attention, you know what that matchup is. But we'll get some graphics going here in the next little bit. Let's maybe say, Zach, if we can get to 15 likes, and I'm asking you while we're live, so feel free to tell me to get frigged in the comment section here. Is there a way we can maybe get like a teaser graphic for that there main event? Hi, Rip. You're excited too, aren't you? Would you like to say something to the fans?
Billy Starks is one of those people, like, how are you 19 but somehow have 35
Is that where
years
he tweaked
wrestling
his shoulder?
experience?
Is that where he would tweak his shoulder there?
On
that spear?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Big old shoulder tweak. But Jared Rogers, the wily veteran,
Tough
tweaked
bastard.
through it.
Fought the rest night. Fought the next night. He didn't care. Wasn't keeping him out.
No. He is wily. He is veteran. He is Jared.
For perhaps a big power bomb. Sunset bomb. Again, only two. Quickly folding him up with the magical cover.
You can hang out. You're just not welcome to like snap at my face.
But over goes Marz. Again, Rogers landing on his feet. Into the ace crusher.
Like,
is that going to be enough to get it done? Oh, out 2 7/8.
That might have actually shown concern on Thad's face.
83.3% repeating.
Rogers, like a cat, always seems to land on his feet.
That's 7/8 in percentage.
Rogers looking to go high risk.
He should maybe go spend some time in the litter box.
Again, Jack Pride.
Ref,
up on
come.
that middle rope
He
with
should.
the shiny
Jack Pride
keys.
should be tossed here. I think.
You know, while I can certainly have my opinion on what a referee can and can't do, I do leave the refs to have their own integrity.
Caught him coming in with that elbow.
I also had about 4 beers by this point of the show. Because it's very rare for me that I get to sit and just watch wrestling in Edmonton anymore. So these are my fun shows.
Get him up.
I was gonna say, so when you're at these shows, you are there as a fan for the most
Yes.
part.
Yes.
That was gnarly. That was gnarly.
That's it. It's over.
Yeah.
Rogers kicked
Oh,
out.
Mars
Are
is
you
really
kidding
good.
me?
He just needs to be nicer to Jared's mom.
Yes.
I think that's really my only critique.
That'll get the fans going.
We're at 13 likes, friends. Let's get her up to 15.
Heck
Why
yeah,
not?
let's go.
hit that.
15
Let's
people.
hit
Let's
that
go.
goal.
Here it comes.
I admittedly, I will find a reward for you. I don't know what it is yet.
Telegraphed.
Mars climbing the ropes, able to reverse
You know what? If we get to 15 likes,
up into like a
I will go
fire
ahead and
surge,
launch
just
the
muscled him
Love
up.
Pro Wrestling Year-End Awards this
Rogers able to
afternoon.
get the feet
Wow.
firmly
That's what I
planted
will
on the
do.
earth.
We'll launch a day early on that.
Running knee from Mars.
I was going to say I'll send
it
it out to you guys individually if
Hook
you've
in the
liked, but I've
legs.
realized you can't see who's individually liking stuff on YouTube.
How do you keep this guy down?
Mars!
Concern on the face of
You
the
can't say
field.
that in the comments section.
Confidence. Concern, confidence.
Rap. No.
Feel concerned.
Okay, if you're gonna knock over
Laying on
microphones,
the
you gotta
ground,
get down.
face first.
Okay, down.
Sadistic
Down.
smile
Or
creeping the
over,
face.
whichever. There you go.
Mars, the
There you
specialist,
go.
Jack Wright again up on the goddamn ring
No.
apron.
Wow, even Boris is getting frustrated. You hear that?
I would be frustrated too if somebody kept doing the same thing over and over.
Mars able to put the brakes
Oh,
on.
is that it?
Rolling through,
No.
shoulders down.
Got him.
Oh,
Got him.
the wily veteran.
Jack Pride got a. I'm telling you, he was getting involved the whole
I
match,
would
and it
say
came back to
so.
bite him.
No pun
Came back to bite him.
intended. And some of these skullduggery
His
of
finisher
Jack
is the
Pride
roll-up.
specialists backfiring on them and costing them a victory in our opening
Like it
contest.
just is.
Skullduggery, skullcanery. Wow, that's a finish I did not expect. Getting a talking to.
Don't
from the
necessarily know if that's the case.
Trusted advisor.
Oh, he's saying Mars is
Strike this on the record
saying
book.
you should strike it from the record book.
I've already submitted our results to Cage Match. I apologize.
Mars the specialist.
Sorry, brother. Once it's there, I'm not going to send him a redaction.
Jack Pride is beside themselves.
I believe that
Oopsies.
was pride.
Not really oopsies.
Tremendous opening
He was
contest.
blowing that
and we're
kiss to
only
me.
getting started at Prelude.
He was.
Number
He
9.
was blowing that kiss to you.
Yep.
Was 100% blowing that kiss to you. Marz the Specialist versus the wily veteran Jared Rogers from Thursday night's Love Pro Wrestling Clandestine Wrestling Society event. Like I mentioned, if you tune into Patreon, you'll get that full show from start to finish right here. Well, not right here, right now. You can get it right now, but don't leave right here. Judge Ben Omen, it is good to see you. Thank you. I appreciate it that you think I'm cute. Huge shout out to Judge Ben Omen getting back into the stripes, getting back into
That was
the
a
ring
nice
there on
surprise.
Friday night.
That was a
too.
nice surprise.
Well, it was very, very nice. We were able to come to terms. Obviously, he lost his managerial license in Love Pro Wrestling. That sucks. It is what it is, but nothing we can really do in the most positive sense of the phrase from preventing him as the LPW head official from reinstating himself as an official. So very, very good to get him back in there. We've already got, obviously, Stuart Garvey and Mike the Fitzpatrick, two of the best in the game. But Judge Ben is easily one of the best, not just in Alberta. And a great human being. Love that guy.
Yep.
Which one? I thought it was just like, it's like a Power Ranger, you see. It's like you've got your, then they morph into the Short King. Where was I going with that? I don't even know anymore. But head over to the Patreon if you want to throw us, like I said, a subscription. You can tune into the full event. You can check out some of our previous matches. You'll get every match announcement from Love Pro Wrestling early on that end of things. So it would really mean a lot if you'd head over there and support. It all goes right back into the promotional end of things, so we can continue to bring in people like a Billy Starks or a Speedball Mike Bailey or any of the other individuals. Rip down, please, that we've already got locked up for 2024. Ben, Marz isn't a cute lad. I'm just gonna let you guys feud in the comments. You guys can go ahead and do that there. However, coming up this week. I know we've got some live streams, we've got some interviews, we've got everything in between coming up. So, Lawrence,
Yo,
where can the people find you? What you got going on?
they can find me right here at KartSayNDG on Instagram, Twitter, Threads. I've got to start doing more Threads.
They've got a desktop app now. That's the reason that I've started using it a
Yeah.
little more. It's on desktop. I've got carpal tunnel.
And you can follow me, LJKartSay514 on Twitch. I'm Twitch streaming. Like at this point, really, I'm going to start having more of a set schedule. It's just like
Pronounced schedule.
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 Ski duel. My ski duel. Yeah, I'll have a more set schedule coming up with the next couple weeks.
Hell yeah, friends. We're at 13 likes. We're closing her out here in the next couple of minutes. We've hit our usual runtime of an hour. So help us get to 15. If we hit that, I will quite literally end this stream. Well, when we should end this stream. And then I will post before I head out the 2023 year-end awards for Love Pro Wrestling. Lots of great categories this year, including what we're tentatively calling the Ralphie Award for the poster of the year. All designed by Zach Ralph. JPJ, where can the people find you?
You can find me at JPJ Loves Gaming on all social media platforms, Twitter, Threads, X, things like that. You can also find me over there on Twitch with the same name. We stream, 4 or 5 times a week. You can find me here, though, every Thursday night at 8 p.m. right on this lovely YouTube channel with my boy Pluggo doing the Between Two Beards thing. And then you can we didn't do it this weekend because of the holiday, the American Thanksgiving holiday, but you can find me over on the Twitch, the Love Wrestling Twitch, every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. with Drew, where we talk all things AEW. So that's where you can find me.
Hell yeah, and you can find this individual apparently voting for Marz for everything on the year-end awards. Blair, where can the people find you? Who's your next guest, if I may be so bold to ask?
Well, I'll give you the next two because I'm hyped on both of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
The next one is
that's
Alex.
what you got tuning in here on Sunday mornings, friends.
Next one is going to be Alex Rain, and then
Awesome.
the following week is going to be Mikey Truth from the Dynasty, and that's not going to lie. I as soon as it happened, I messaged Lawrence, and I was like, I think this is one of my favorite ones I've ever done. So I'm very hyped on sharing it with everyone. So
Hell yeah.
you can look for that Grainmaker Wrestling podcast on all social media and podcast platforms and that. And yes, JPJ.
I was going to say, I don't want to spoil anything, but a little birdie told me that maybe Beards might be appearing on that soonish. Maybe. I don't know. Nothing yet. Nothing crazy. But a birdie told me that there's a possibility sometime in December that might be some bearded fellows
Maybe
doing some stuff with Blair. So stay tuned.
Maybe. And like JPJ, I do For Exposure with Pluggo, and that's every Saturday, usually, except for this past week because shoot jobs and stuff. But watch for that as we take a look at the world of independent wrestling on Love Wrestling.
Hell yeah, for all three of you hopping on this morning. It's always good to see you, especially again when it's a slow news week and we've got to really fill the dead air of everything that didn't happen in professional wrestling. And thank you all for tuning in. We have hit our 15 like goal. It's appreciated. It helps support us a little bit. It bumps us up in that all important algorithm. If you're tuning in late, Rip, get the hell down, you weirdo. If you're tuning into the replay of this, it still helps us out throwing a like. It'd be really, really appreciated if you did. But follow us, tweet us, support us, whatever you want to do with us at Love Wrestling CA, wherever podcasts are played, videos are viewed, and awesome content is created by awesome people. If you want to support a little bit extra, head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/Love Wrestling CA. You'll get a bunch of exclusive matches. You'll get a bunch of exclusive previews, reviews, breaking news, interviews, everything in between on that end of things. And make sure you pick up your tickets for our upcoming events. Head to Ticketmaster to pick up Edmonton Oil Kings tickets for January 21st as we join them for the Oil Rumble. And then head to Tixer.com/Love Wrestling. You can get tickets for LPW CWS number 10 and, of course, LPW 22. I Don't Know About You, featuring the Love Pro Wrestling debut. Oh, that rhymed 3 times. I feel like the Notorious Big. you can check out the LPW debut of AEW Ring of Honor star Billy Starks. However you choose to support, though, it's incredibly appreciated that you take time out there among so many wrestling content creators, interviewers, everything in between, to take time for a lot of people around North America, around the world. Josh just isn't here this morning, but around the world of professional wrestling. We're going to be back here, same bat time, same bat channel next week for the Brunch Gimmick. I promise we'll figure out which match we're going to show earlier, because then I can advertise that and rah, all that good stuff. If we're going to tell you to follow us on socials, might as well be interesting on it. But until then, make sure you're tuning in here on a weekly, daily, monthly, whatever basis you so choose to. For JPJ, for Blair, for Lawrence, I'm Spencer Love. I'm distracted by my dog, so I'm trying to get out of this outro. I promise.
Yeah.
I've been Spencer Love. We'll see you on the next one, friends. Take care.